Hello y'all, and welcome to Young Folk Knits. Today I have a lot of summer projects to share with you. I've got quite a few summer knitted tops. Let's see how many I can knit at once. Hello y'all, and welcome back to Young Folk Knits. If you're new here, my name is Casey, and this is a channel where I share all about my love of fiber arts. I also sometimes share a little bit about living on a small farm here in Arkansas, where my husband, myself, and our children are beekeepers. We love raising gardens and animals and chickens and spending time outdoors here in the foothills of the Ozarks. So if any of that sounds like it might be your cup of tea, make sure and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on any future video content. Today I want to chat about a lot of summer knits I've got going on, some summer sewing, whips as well, and a lot of plans that are starting to come together. It is June and it is hot. I think for a while we actually had some low humidity and it wasn't too bad. I don't mind warm temperatures as long as it's not humid. I don't do well with high humidity. It just completely zaps me of all energy. I hate being sweaty. I have rosacea and I just feel like it makes everything, it just makes me so much hotter. So I'm not a fan of the summers in Arkansas, the humidity, and it is now here. So I have had to sort of put down some of my super woolly projects because normally it doesn't bother me to knit winter style sweaters and knits in general in the summertime. But because I'm spending a lot of time outside right now, I'm outside doing things, I'm outside with my kids while they play, I cannot have a wool anything in my lap while I'm knitting on it outside. It's got to be plant fibers. So I am still trying to finish a few woolly things, but they are reserved for nighttime knitting before bed in the air conditioner with a fan blowing on me. And the rest of the time, summer knits it is. So let me show you what I've been working on. But first, I want to show you what I'm wearing today. So I can't remember if I have shown this particular Tate romper since I finished it. I know that I have worn a different Tate romper that I sewed out of some bright yellow highlighter lemony Merchant & Mills linen, a plaid, and that was a lot of fun. But I did make another Tate romper like a week later, and I made it out of linen as well. It is the, I want to say it's the mallow stripe. This is it. And I made quite a few modifications after the first one. The first Tate romper that I did, I had a longer bodice, and I also had a little bit bigger, and I had more fabric in the body. So on this Tate romper, I sized down on the bodice, both the width of it and the length of it. And I also did the same. I went down like 2 sizes again from the body. So I think I did maybe like a size 18 on this bodice, and I did still add a little bit of length because I have such a big difference between my upper bust measurement and my full bust measurement and my waist measurement that, you know, it's got, my fabric has to go out and then go down, and so I need a little bit more length for it to be able to do that. I think I cut too much off. So the next Tate romper that I make, I'm going to add maybe another inch back to the bodice. I think I made the size 12 for the body. And you can totally mix and match different sizes for your bodice and your body. That's a great thing about the Tate romper. It has pockets and it has a zipper. It's supposed to be invisible. This one is not. And my bra is definitely showing. So I'm wearing a linen shirt over it, but you could definitely hack this to make your bra straps, to make these straps big enough to cover your bra straps. So it's hard for me to cover that up. But overall, huge fan of this romper, and I actually have fabric to make another one. The other thing I'm wearing is some super fun jewelry, which is actually from the sponsor of today's video. So this jewelry is from Luisa, and I have been a fan of Luisa for a while. For the past few years, I have had some of their jewelry, and it has held up beautifully. I have worn it for, like I said, a few years now, and it still looks new. It's easy to clean. It's easy to pair with whatever I'm wearing because it's very classic. Today I'm wearing the Lev Small Heart Gold necklace, which I love. I love hearts, so this makes me happy. It's 14 karat gold on brass. I just think it's very lovely. It's a lot of fun, but the gold gives it a really classic look. And I'm also wearing this really gorgeous ring, which I received from Luisa as well. This is the May ring in the color green, and as y'all know, if you've been here before, green is my favorite color. Gold is my favorite jewelry color. So this is like my power ring right here. It's 14 karat gold on sterling silver, so I think that's a really nice quality. It comes in sizes from 5 through 10, so you can get it to fit any finger you want to wear it on. And I love that this stone is made out of recycled glass. I just think that's really fun. One of my favorite things about Luisa jewelry, though, is the fact that I can feel good about wearing it because they really put their money where their mouth is as far as making their jewelry and their company with the planet in mind. They use recycled materials whenever possible, like the recycled glass in this ring, which I think turned out beautiful. They avoid unnecessary mining and excessive markups, and they ensure 100% carbon neutrality through certified projects. So if you want to try out Luisa jewelry, then make sure and click the link in my description box, and you can see if any of their beautiful jewelry speaks to you. All right, let's talk about what I'm knitting. So I think June has turned into a how many summer knitted tops can I make at once month. And that's a little stressful. Many of you may know that I am a process knitter at heart. I am trying to become a little bit more of a project knitter. No, a product knitter, sorry. But I am a process knitter at heart. It doesn't bother me to have like 50 different projects going at once, even though I know it stresses y'all out. The more the merrier, you know, they're all welcome to the party. But, you know, it definitely does slow progress down. The more projects you have at once, the less time you can commit to a single project. So, yes, I do try to remind myself of that. So, I do have a secret test knit that I have been devoting a lot of my time to, and I can't share that quite yet, but it's coming very soon and I will be able to share it then. But because of that, my time has been limited on other projects, and I've kind of just wanted to knit what I felt like when I wasn't knitting on my test knit. So apparently I decided to cast on all the summer tops. One of them you've seen before, and I'll just warn you now, you're not going to see massive amounts of progress on any of these. Some of them are new, some of them you've seen before, none of them are done. But first of all, I will share one that I talked about last time, and it is my outline tee, which is a pattern by Jessie May, and it is a fingering weight summer tee that is, I think, lovely knitted up in a plant fiber. So this is a V-neck top, and it's really a very simple construction, but by doing a few cool little tricks, you will afterwards release some stitches and drop them in lines all the way down, and you create these really beautiful edges to your sweater in different spots. And it's a really cool technique, very easy to do, but it definitely adds some lovely interest. It adds some nice lines, it adds some texture, and I think elevates a simple pattern to something that is a lot of fun to make and wear. So I am making mine out of Cozy Posy Yarn Co. Lush Lino base. She did gift this to me. She is a sweetie. She dyed this color up for me, which she knows me so well. It is absolutely a color I have been loving lately, and it's called Hot Banana Pepper, which I think, man, she nailed it. It's perfect. So this is 65% linen and 65% silk and 35% linen. It has 115 grams and 490 yards of fingering weight. So I think a lot of people could make a outline tee out of just 2 of these. You could make a ranunculus possibly out of 1 of these. This is a lot of yardage or meterage. I think that's awesome. And another great thing about all that meterage is that it's going to mean less yarn joins, which I hate doing in plant fibers because it just is so hard to weave those ends in and get them to stay. It's any plant fiber base that has a really silky linen cotton blend, you almost have to tie it to get it to stay. And so I'm not a huge fan of weaving in ends in that kind of base. Not only do they tend to slip out, a lot of times you're knitting a top in a pretty loose gauge because you're making it, a flowy summer top, for instance. And so because of that, it's also pretty visible. So I have been doing a Russian join, and it has worked out really great. You can also do a magic knot. This is a very thin fingering weight, so you're not going to have a big bulky knot. And I don't like to do magic knots a lot. I don't even like to do Russian joins a lot because I feel like they're pretty visible. You're actually doubling up your yarn, so it's thicker in that area. But it's worked out great on this base, and it's pretty well hidden. I'm knitting at a loose gauge, so that's not an issue. That loose gauge works out well for this pattern. I did about 2 inches of ribbing, and it is twisted rib, so that was fun. But now I'm working in stockinette, and this is something that I have taken to the movies with me. I take it outside when I'm knitting. It's so easy because I don't even have to look at it. It's just stockinette in around. It does not get any more simple than that. So am I making super fast progress on this? No, I am not, but I am loving having this as a project to knit with. And whenever I know I'm going to be in the car or at the doctor's office, which I've had to do this week, this is what I grab on my way out. I don't have to think about where I'm at. I don't have to think about following a pattern. I don't even have to think about looking at it while I'm knitting it. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun to wear because of this bright color, and I want to hurry up and get it done though before summer's over. But this is going to be one that I will wear next year too. It's not a worry as far as will I wear it or not. It's got great drape. It's going to be so flowy. I want to make it cropped because I want it to hit closer to my natural waist and then be able to French tuck it as well. So I'm not going to knit it too long. It is bottom up, which is not my favorite construction as far as trying things on, but we'll make it work. The next thing I'm knitting on, I did share it last time as well, and it is the Seagrass Tank, which is a pattern by Samantha Guerin, and it is currently in testing. And she had, first of all, she's one of my absolute favorite pattern designers, and I have met her in person, and she is so sweet and down to earth and just really cool. I like Samantha Guerin a lot. And I like everything she designs. I want to make everything that she puts out there. When she put this out there, I desperately wanted to knit it, but I didn't sign up for the test knit at first because I was just like, I don't know if I can do it. But she had asked for, she was trying to come up with a name for this pattern, and I suggested the seagrass tank, and she liked it. So she gave me the pattern for free as a thank you for helping suggest a name. And I was like, well, could I go ahead and get the pattern early now while it's in testing, and I'll try to test it with everybody else and try to finish it on time? And she said yes. So she sent it to me, and I hope that I can finish it because it's a very beautiful tank or sleeveless top. And she knit hers out of Chameleon Fiber Company flax fingering in the color Dahlia. I had that exact base in the color terracotta, and I had 3 skeins of it, and that is exactly how much the test called for. So I jerked those skeins out, and I immediately cast that on, and I love this base. It is incredible. It does have alpaca, linen, silk, and I know that the alpaca would seem like it would make it warm, but it's very flowy, it's very drapey, it's very light, and I think it's going to be fine in this base for the summer. It's lovely, it's very breathable. This gauge, it's being knit on 3 US 3 needles. Is it 3mm or US 3? Dropped a stitch, hang on. Okay, we'll fix that later. Anyway, it's got a very easy to memorize, repeatable lace pattern that goes along the front and the back, and it's going to go down the sides of the tank as well. So I have joined in the round. It's knit like a drop shoulder sweater would be. So you knit the back, and then you pick up and you knit the fronts, and then I'll go back later and add the neck and arm hole edges. But this type of garment, this construction, usually is my favorite fit, that sort of drop shoulder like construction. So I think this is going to be really nice. I love the color, I love the fabric, I love the design, and so far I really like the shape. So as I said, I haven't made a lot of progress, but I do really love that tonal quality that's already showing up in the yarn, and I'm very excited to get this finished. It's so soft, y'all. It is just silky soft. Oh, I love it. All right, next up I'm going to show you something I frivolously cast on, and that is a new Ranunculus. So this is a pattern by Midori Hirose, and I think if you're a knitter, you've probably heard of the Ranunculus. It is one of the most popular patterns there is on Ravelry as far as garment knitting goes. And I have actually made 2 of these, and I decided I really wanted a long sleeve version. So the Wandering Flock recently came out with a new base, and it is called, what is this one called? Oh, Cotton Lino, I think is what it's called. But it's got 35% organic cotton, 30% mulberry silk, 20% linen, and 15% baby alpaca. This is a new to me base. I have never had a base with this blend before, but I'll just tell y'all, it is lovely. It is a sport weight. I think you could definitely knit this up in a DK weight pattern. I find it very similar to the Chameleon Fiber Co. Flax DK weight base. I would have a little bit of trouble knitting this up at a fingering weight gauge, but actually I think I could probably make it work even So I think, you know, it definitely works nicely as a sport weight. I would say this is a true sport weight base, and therefore you could probably kind of go either direction with it and it would work out. This is the color Citrine. So let me just show you. This is the Hot Banana Pepper from the Lush Lino base from Cozy Cozy Yarn Co. And this is the Citrine color in the Cotton Lino base from the Wandering Flock. So if you can see here, now it always shows up different colors on my video camera, but I'll just tell you, this Wandering Flock is a much more grungy green apple color with yellow undertones, and the Hot Banana Pepper is a much more bright yellow, almost hot neon highlighter type color. So this is more green and this is more yellow. Are they close? Yes. Do not feel bad about having multiple items in my wardrobe in this color family at all. I love it, and I would make more. I love this color. I'm very excited. So I am doing another Ranunculus, and I do have two. They're both short sleeve summer versions. One is made out of sport weight. It's actually this one right here. It is made out of Little Fox Yarn Co. A blend that was a sport weight blend from Little Fox Yarn Co. They no longer carry this exact base, but they do have another one that is similar, and I think a sport weight as well, or maybe DK. But it had cotton, linen, silk, wool, viscose. It had like a lot of things blended into it. And I did a short sleeve version, and this was knit back before she had all of the different size options available. So this was like from her original pattern, I think. And I like that. I wear it a lot. This one though is my favorite. The second one that I made, it is knit with 2 strands of fingering held together. And that was Ritual Dye's Undine in the color Slate. And this was made with the updated pattern. And I really like the length of this. It's got a lot of positive ease for me. I made the sleeves a little bit longer, and I like the length of this. It's more cropped, and I love where it hits me. I wear it with a lot of different things. This is my most worn knitted garment ever, by far. I wear it over dresses. I wear it with skirts. I wear it with pants. It works for whatever, and I love it. So I want to make this one bracelet length with the I-cord sleeves, and I think that I want to make the length on this very similar to my green that I just showed you. I think that's just, it just ends up being the most practical for the most amount of outfits for me. So that is my plan. I have started the raglan increases. Now, normally I can knit a ranunculus in 2 to 3 days. I don't know, since this is going to be long sleeve, it might increase my time a little bit. The pattern is a paid for pattern, so I can't give too many details away. It tells you to cast on 60 stitches in the body needle, which is a US 10 or a 6mm. And then for the ribbing at the bottom of your sweater, you use a US 8, which I think is a 5mm. I, however, cast on with my US 8 needle, and I cast on 70 stitches. So then at some point, you at the end of your ribbing, which is twisted rib, at the end of that, you're increasing up to 90 stitches. Now, there's a lot with this pattern. I'm not giving any of those numbers away at all. I'm only talking here about the collar. Once you finish this ribbing at the neckline, your going to increase from 60 stitches to 90 stitches. I cast on 70 stitches, so instead of following what the pattern tells you to do in that next round where you're increasing, I just spread out my stitches, I spread out my increases where it would work to be an evenly dispersed number, because instead of increasing 30 stitches, I was increasing 20 stitches. So just keep that in mind. I wanted a little bit of a bigger neck opening, but I didn't want it so big that it was way off the sides of my shoulders. I wanted to make sure that it does cover my bra strap. So I think this is a nice number. You can also, instead of using a long tail cast on, a great cast on is the German twisted cast on. It gives the neck some stretch, and since this is not a stretchy yarn, you know, anytime you're working with plant fibers, there's no stretch. None whatsoever. So the German twisted cast on is a great one to use for the neckline of a ranunculus. Like I said, this is a circular yoke sweater, but it is a complex raglan too, in the sense that you are starting with circular yoke increases and then you switch to raglan increases. I think that gives a beautiful fit. It really works nicely for me. It works a lot better than just a purely circular yoke where you're only increasing evenly all the way around in these big, you know, circular increases. Instead, with the raglan, it increases in the areas that you need it to, and the mixture of the two works really nicely for me. So if you have not knit a ranunculus before, I would recommend giving one a try. It's very quick. You've got a very open gauge depending on the yarn you use. If you're using a woolly worsted weight yarn, then it's not going to be a super, breezy open gauge. However, with this sport weight plant fiber yarn knit on a US 10 6mm needle, it definitely is, and I really like that. So I think that this is going to be really fun with the bracelet length sleeves and the I-cord cuffs. And I had a vision for an outfit as soon as I got this. So I wanted to get this yarn to go with some fabric that I already have. It's in my fabric cabinet, so I'm not going to go get it, but I'll put it on the screen. This is the fabric, and this is the yarn, and I think they look beautiful together. So my first thought was a sleeveless hinterland dress, but I have a hinterland dress in the 3/4 sleeves in this black and white gingham from Merchant & Mills already, and while it might be nice to have another one in the bigger check gingham fabric and sleeveless, so it would be different, I thought, I could wear that ranunculus with this dress and get that same effect. And I think that I want to make a Tate romper with my fabric and wear it with this ranunculus. So I tried on this ranunculus with the Tate romper that I'm wearing, and I think it is the perfect length. I actually think it looks really cute together, and it has solidified the plan that I now want to make a Tate romper with this fabric and wear this ranunculus with it. I think it's just exactly what I want. It's very much my style. I think it will be dramatic and lovely, and I know that the Tate romper is not everyone's style. I don't really think it's my husband's style, but he doesn't care what I wear. Of course, he wants me to wear what I want to wear, and is happy if I'm happy. I showed him a few different ones. I was like, what do you think? Should I make the romper or should I make the dress? I'm asking for your opinion. Like, which do you think would look better on me? And it's really hard to get him to give me an opinion. And he said, I'm not a huge fan of that romper. I actually really like the way that the dresses you make fit you. I think they're beautiful. I love it. That's my vote. And I was like, okay, thank you for playing. I'm going to make the Tate romper. I love him. That's why he never gives me his opinion. He knows I'm gonna do what I want to do. But I like it. You know, sometimes we dress for our husbands and sometimes we dress for our girlfriends. And I think the girls will like my Tate romper. I think that they will think it is super cute. So, okay, basically I will think it's super cute and that's all that matters.
Fight the darkness till break of day. The heart and the past changes so fast, like a chameleon. Red ones and blue skies.
I want to show you one other thing I'm very excited about. All right, so I am a huge fan of Addie from Ruby and Roses. I mean, huge fan. She is really helping me move out of my neutrals and move into some more fun, vibrant colors in life, which I love. And she is about to release a new collection, which is called Flowers Gone Wild. I love it. It speaks to my garden girl soul. And I love the colors that she has done. First of all, it's not just, you know, bright, fun neon colors. She's got a lot of really great classic colors in there. And I got to pick a few. And I am so excited. So, first of all, this gorgeous periwinkle lace color in her soft rose base, which is an 8515 superwash merino nylon 4-ply blend. It's 437 yards and 100 grams. This is a great sock yarn, but this is a great garment and shawl yarn as well. So I got these two skeins in this color to make a mini mock neck tank. I think this would be beautiful. I want to make a few mini mock neck tanks this year. I think even into the winter, because I will pair them under long sleeve shirts, under cardigans. I think you have a lot of possibilities with that pattern, which is by Jessie May, by the way. And you only need like 2 skeins of yarn, which I think is fantastic. So I do want to make this one, which is definitely a lovely light color, but still extremely classic and neutral. And I think it would go with a lot of the linen skirts and pants that I have sewn. So I believe this collection is releasing June 29th. Is what she had said. So that's going to be here very soon. And she is showing all the colorways on her Instagram account. So I would definitely recommend following her on Instagram. But I am very excited to be an affiliate for Ruby and Roses Yarn Co. So if you use the link in my description to shop from Ruby and Roses, then I do get a commission from the sales, which I always appreciate whenever y'all shop with my link. Thank you so much. But if you have not shopped with Ruby and Roses before and you use my link, then you can get $5 off your first purchase. But either way, y'all should make sure and check out these colors because I just think they're really fabulous. I also got the color Troika and Meadow Sweet. How fun is this? This is my ultimate red color. It's a very lovely tomato red, which is my favorite kind of red. I don't know. Purpley cool toned reds are not my favorite. I really like the warm tomato reds that have that orange undertone. They match. They suit my complexion better, and I just like them better, honestly. And then this one, Meadow Sweet, I just think is super fun. It's like the most fun purple ever. So she's also going to have a few different mini sets. And this one is the Happy Place mini set. They're 20 gram minis, so they're actually really big. But look at these amazing colors. Okay, so here's my plan. Addie actually released a blanket pattern, which is called, I want to say it's the Traveler blanket. I will put it on the screen. But as soon as I saw these colors, I immediately knew that it would make the perfect blanket. And I love the design that she did. I also have my Taylor Swift minis that I have not used up yet. So I'm putting all of these together and I'm casting on a blanket. I don't have any blankets on the go right now. And I find them to be very meditative and fun, and I love every blanket I've ever made. So I need to make another one, and I feel like this will just give me pure serotonin every time I'm looking at it and working on it. Even if it takes me a year to make it, I don't care, because I'm gonna love every second of knitting with these colors. They are so much fun. Okay, also, mini mock neck tank in either of these colors would be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So if you ever see a color that you love but you don't know what to do with, and you don't want to buy a sweater quantity of it, something like that pattern or any of those tank top patterns is a great way to just maybe like buy 2 skeins of a fingering weight yarn, and you know that you can make that pattern with it. Oh, and I also want to show you something very fun that I received in the mail. So Monica from Yarn Experiments, who I follow on Instagram, very kindly sent me a gift, and I am in love. So she makes these super fun progress keepers and stitch markers, and they're the best. And she sent me some really awesome ones. She makes them with these really fun letter beads. Like, my first thought went to Taylor Swift, of course, like you see on the Taylor Swift bracelets. But look at what she made for me. So here's one that says knit. Here's one that says pearl. Look at the colors on it. It's super fun. Okay, this one's my favorite. This one is a progress keeper, and it says beekeeper. I love it. Look at the colors. It's super fun. This one says whip queen. She actually sent me quite a few. I've got one of them already. Actually, I have 2 of them on my project already. One of them says beginning of round. So I'm actually going to be giving away one of these stitch markers as well as a skein of yarn, and I'm going to be doing that, I think, on next week's video. It may be the one after that, but stay tuned and I will let y'all know how to enter that. But these are just very, very cute, and you guys should definitely check out Yarn Experiments on Instagram. All right, y'all. I'm sorry I have just chatted away for a very long time, but before I go, I do want to share a little bit about what I've been reading, watching, listening to. So I actually tried a book and I had to send it back. It was not working for me. So I returned it on Libby, and I looked through my Audible books, and I'll be honest, I have been feeling slightly depressed lately. I have not felt, I don't know, knitting has its moments. Sometimes I don't even feel like knitting. I feel like I can't even watch a knitting podcast. I don't know what it is, but when I get in this frame of mind, it's like I can't even watch about knitting. I have been just sewing a little bit more, but nothing. I feel like I couldn't really get into anything, and so I pulled out my go-to, which on Audible you do pay a monthly subscription and you get like 1 credit a month that you can use on audiobooks. But Audible also has a catalog of books that you can listen to for free. I say for free, you do have to be paying for the subscription, but you don't use any of your credits. And you can listen to as many of those books in their catalog as you want, as often as you want. And Jane Eyre is one of my absolute favorite books, favorite movies. I love all the versions. And my favorite narrated Jane Eyre audiobook is the one that Thandie Newton narrates. And I think you say her name Thandie Newton. It may be Tandy Newton. She is an awesome actress. And she's absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. But her voice is impeccable. She narrates this book flawlessly. The way she emotes. The tenor of her voice, the pace, the way that she injects even the very dry humor. There are some bits of Jane Eyre that are, I mean, it's very dark, but there's also like this undercurrent of, you know, some of the things she says is a little bit of dark humor, I feel like. You know, it's Charlotte Bronte. The Bronte sisters were very dark, but, well, you know, classics. So I have been listening to that audiobook and I love it. I've listened to it so many times too that at night, if I'm having trouble going to sleep, I'll turn it on, and it doesn't matter if I fall asleep and I wake up 3 hours later and it's still playing. I've listened to the book 5,000 times. It doesn't matter that I've missed something, you know, I can go back to wherever I want to go back to. So if you have Audible, I would recommend checking out that version of Jane Eyre. It's a very good one and the best in my opinion. Audible also had a sale, and since I've been having a mental block with podcasts and videos in general, I don't know, my emotions have been a little, you know, wavy. It has felt like it's been a long year, so I'm still trying to keep my joy, not to be a Debbie Downer. Anyway, what was my point? Audible had a sale, and it's still happening right now. I do record my videos often many days in advance before they go live, but I think this will probably still be happening whenever this video goes live. So if you are an Audible member, make sure and check it out. I got like 3 or 4 different books that were $26 audiobooks, and I got them for like $3, $4, and I did not use a credit. Instead, I thought it was actually a better deal for me to buy them outright at that price. I mean, we're talking like 80-something% off here. It's a great deal if you can find the books. If it's a book you actually want, I would snag it up. Check out the sale if you're an Audible member, especially some books that my library just does not carry. Also, what I've been watching, I've only watched 1 episode of it, so this is brand new to me. So in 1994, there was a TV show that came out, and it was called Northern Exposure, and it's about a doctor from New York who is sent to Alaska, middle of nowhere Alaska, this little town, and he's under contract because the state of Alaska paid for his college education, and so he has to work out his contract there for like 4 years. So he's stuck in this middle of nowhere Alaska, and it's just a fish out of water tale. I've only watched 1 episode, but in the very first episode, Marilyn, who is a native Alaskan, she is knitting, and she knits she's always knitting, and I'm like, I love you, Marilyn. We are kindred spirits. Yeah, I'm just like the knitting, and she's really knitting. She knows, like, it's not pretend. She knows how to knit, and she is really knitting, and I think that's amazing. I love it. So I don't know. Have you seen Northern Exposure? Is it good? Am I going to be disappointed? Should I continue to watch it? If you've seen it, let me know. So I did watch an episode of that. I am very excited because we are getting some goats. I have wanted goats my entire life. So what our plan is to get 3 female goats and 1 billy goat. And I need some name suggestions. I, immediately can think of a lot of names. But 3 female goats, 1 billy goat. Drop your name suggestions below. I am so excited. We have an area that is very hard to even get the tractor in. It's just hard to keep clean. It's near our pond, and it gets very overgrown. And goats are like nature's lawnmowers. They will clean up anything. So we're very excited. We just need to finish fencing in this area, and then we're going to put our goats out there. And this is the highlight of my life. It's bringing me so much joy. You have no idea. It is just what I am needing right now for a huge pick-me-up. All right, y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoy videos like this, then make sure and give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on any future video content. I want to thank you very much. I did receive a pattern this week as a gift from my wish list, and I want to say a big thank you. I am very excited to start knitting that pattern very soon. All right, y'all, don't forget, if you have goat names, drop them in the comments. Also, don't forget you can follow the link in my description to check out some of this beautiful jewelry from Anna Luisa. All right, y'all, I hope you have a wonderful week of making. I hope you're working on something that you really enjoy. And until next time, happy knitting, y'all.